Hello and welcome back to the Madden 23 franchise. It's episode 61 and this is going to be the wild card weekend. We're going to take a look at what our season was, how it went, how good it was, and then the stats of all our players. As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share. And let's get things started. We'll take a look at our stats on the year. We'll start with the awards and who's projected to win what. Early on, it looks like Jonathan's going to win MVP. Obviously, Daboll's going to win Coach of the Year. We'll take a look. Jonathan Taylor might win Offensive Player of the Year. The 7-10 Colts, he led the NFL in rushing yards. Defensive is going to be Myles Garrett. I didn't really see his stats. He doesn't really pop up. A lot of the defense is going to be NFC. Callum McCollum led the league in passing yards for the final few weeks before Herbert jumped him, so he's going to win Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year is going to be John Quick. I don't pay attention to the defensive rookies, so I don't know. Best QB, Patrick Mahomes. He was also up there passing yards all year. Running back, Jonathan Taylor. Obviously, Devontae Adams was leading receiving yards for a lot of the year. O-line, Trey Smith. I don't know how they picked that. If Garrett is going to be Defensive Player of the Year, he's going to be best D-line. TJ Watt, best linebacker. Trayvon Diggs, best DB. He led the league in interceptions. And Corey Thomas of the Bills is best kicker. We'll take a look at what they say in the NFC. Jonathan, Offensive Player of the Year. Terry McLaurin, second. Barkley, third. That makes sense. Defensive, Micah Parsons. Interestingly, ahead of Josh Sweat, who led the league in sacks this year. So I guess they have Micah Parsons ahead of him. Bradley Tracy wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. The Niners are in the playoffs. Bob Lambert wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. I know he has a couple touchdowns with the Cowboys on defense. Best QB is Jonathan. Best running back is Saquon. Best receiver is McLaurin. Best O-line is Shaq Mason. Best D-line, Josh Sweat. So he doesn't win Defensive Player of the Year, but he does get the best D-line. Micah Parsons is best linebacker. That's why. Adoree Jackson, best DB. Second place is Leon Boss. How about that? So we have the two best cornerbacks in football. And then best kicker is Joey Sly, but I control him. So, yeah. I'll take a look at where we finished. So, offensively, we had the most total yards. I believe we were around 10th in passing yards. We led in rushing and points per game. Defense, we really kind of struggled late in the season. You could see we're bottom 10 in passing yards, especially giving up 430 to Justin Herbert. And then, rushing has been incredible. We gave up the fourth fewest, and then the points kind of lacked near the end, but still around average. So I can't complain. We led the NFL in third down conversion rate. The red zone is kind of bugged. Oh my God, Atlanta finished dead last. Atlanta didn't have a red zone trip, so I don't know why they dropped, but that's this game, so who knows. And we jumped the Commanders on the final week. Again, we didn't give up a red zone trip. You would have saw it. They had a play in the red zone that was a field goal, and then that final play, so I guess that's 0 for 2. But still, I wouldn't say they had any red zone trips. So we jumped the Commanders. That's actually incredible. We'll take a look at our actual player stats. Now, Jonathan finishes the year 64% completion percentage, 51.72 yards. We'll take a look. I know he set a career high with 52 touchdowns. We'll take a look at his numbers. Just short of his career high in passing yards. He had 52.07 his rookie year. But he sets a career low in interceptions. He has 15. He had 23. So he really increased his touchdowns while decreasing interceptions. That's really good. Rushing, he set a personal record, 16.06 rushing yards. He had less touchdowns, but still, 16.06 rushing yards. That's incredible. Take a look at Barkley, who had 13 yards, 17 touchdowns. A down year with the touchdowns, but 3 fumbles, which, who cares? It was a good year. 4.9 a carry. And we'll take a look at receiving. Terry McLaurin, 17.24 yards. The ties the NFL record, 25 touchdowns. No one on that team had more than 10. Barkley had the second most with 8. That is actually pretty incredible, but I guess Terry McLaurin has been our touchdown guy ever since the playoff run last year. Ridley also was over 1,000 yards. He had 1,008 with 7 touchdowns. Bellinger, 850, was in the third place. There was Downing, a very solid rookie year, only 2 touchdowns, though, and then no one else really had production. Only one catch for Damian Love, a rookie. I guess we didn't really go to 3 tight end sets. We'll go to sacks given up. Evan Neal gives up 12. Bradley Johnson gives up... Neal gives up 16. Johnson 12. Elkton Jenkins 6. Thomas 5. Dave Spellman 3. So it's up decent over the course of the year. Eric Kendricks led the team in tackles with 162. Kaiser White had 134. Julian Love had 102. For tackles for loss, Thibodeau had 36 and 25 sacks. Ojulari 27 and 13.5 sacks. Then Leonard Williams 16. So those are sacks. Third place was 5 on the team. Dory Jackson has 10 interceptions. Leon Boss had 6. Kaiser White had 4. Julian Love also had 4. So that's a good year for both of them. Take a look at deflections. Dory Jackson had 20. Aaron Robinson had 11. Boss had 10. Forced fumbles. Dame Belton had 3. How about that? I know he had 2 in the game. Leon Boss 2. Thibodeau 2. White 2. Jolari 2. Did we have any safeties? No. Kaiser White 3 touchdowns. Jackson 2. Boss, Thibodeau, Robinson, Cooper, and Williams and Lawrence all had 1. How about that? We'll take a look at kicking. Just get things wrapped up. Sly only missed 1 kick. That was from 62 yards. That's a 95% rate. He made all his extra points. We had 97 extra points. I know we had over 100 touchdowns. For punting, Gilliam only punted 38 times. So if you do the math, that is just over 2 a game. 1,663 total yards. 1,505 net yards. So that's really good. We did not allow a lot of returns. Only 2 touchbacks to 11 inside the 20. Gerald Payne, 1,500 return yards. So let's see. He returned kicks last year. I want to see what he did. He had over 500 yards increased, and he had another touchdown added on. I guess that is more to say that we gave up more returns. I guess I was more aggressive for sure. Galladay apparently had a kick return for 3 yards, but I don't know about that. Leon Boss, 52 for 406. Decent for a punt. Didn't get the touchdown. He had one last year, I know. But again, that was pretty good. So those are your stats. And with this year, we're 16-1. It was just, you can't really describe it. It was just impossible how good we were. 45 points, 34, 41, 42, 56, 41, 56, 41, 45. Then 27, 52, 58, 43 in a loss, 56, 59. And then 25 is our season low in the win at Green Bay. And then 41 in week 18 with backups playing the fourth quarter. So, by the way, I don't know what this played, like why this is just so bugged. Clearly, we played every game. So I don't know why the Cowboys and Eagles are showing we didn't play, and the Commanders. But still, regardless, it was a great year, and now we have to take it to the postseason. We have to win 3 games, the Divisional Conference Championship and the Super Bowl. But we have to wait to see who we face for the playoff schedule. Basically, so the 7th seed, I believe, is Dallas. So Dallas, if they win, we have to play them. If the Niners win, we face either the Falcons, Seahawks, Panthers, or Vikings. The lowest seed of those teams. We just cannot face the San Francisco 49ers. So with that all being said, we're going to get into the games. And let's get started in Pittsburgh, as we'll start with the Baker Mayfield having the ball, and he loses it. It's forced out by Myles Garrett. It's picked up by Garrett Stewart. He takes it 18 yards, and the Browns strike first. They lead 7-0. And it'll stay that way till the second quarter, as Baker Mayfield across midfield finds Chase Claypool for 12 yards. They add a field goal. The Browns still lead 7-3. Next drive for the Browns. And it's a give to Nick Chubb, and Chubb cuts it back, and Chubb gets a big gain and almost takes it the distance, but gets tracked down last second after a gain of 28. It's now 10-3. Next drive for the Steelers. On the 2nd and inches, they give it to the fullback Henderson, and Britton Henderson takes it for 15. It's now 10-6. Taking the 2-minute drill for the Steelers. Now under 90 seconds to play. Baker Mayfield Goes upstairs and finds a leaping Pat Fryermuth. That's for 27 yards. It's now 10-9. The Browns have a chance to respond. Deshaun Watson does a 360, throws, Ayuk slips, it's intercepted by Terrell Edmonds. And Edmonds takes it inside the 20, he'll take it 39 yards. It's a 10-16 lead for the Steelers at the half. We'll take it to the first drive of the third quarter, and Deshaun Watson takes it on the keeper. Met by Edmonds, and Bush forces it out. Edmonds eventually gets it. Steelers had another field goal. It's 10-19. Take it later in the third quarter. And the Browns have the ball back. Steelers send the blitz, and Watson finds David Bell, who's covered by TJ Watt, breaks the tackle 44 yards. And the Steelers still lead by 2 at 17-19. Next drive for the Steelers. And it's a give up the middle for Harris. And it's a touchdown, 2-yard score. It's on 26-17. Next drive for the Browns. And a give to Nick Chubb, who's in the zone. And Nick Chubb makes the most of it. 13 yards on that carry. It's now a one-score game. It's 26-20. Taking to the fourth quarter for the Steelers. And Baker Mayfield on the quick slant finds Deontay Johnson in for the touchdown. So 20-32, and they will go for 2. So Mayfield will throw. And on the corner, he will find Claypool. It's now 34-20, a 14-point game here in the fourth quarter. Next drive for the Steelers, trying to put this one away. Baker Mayfield throws on the outside, and it's intercepted by Denzel Ward. Ward takes it up the sideline, chased by Mayfield, chased by Deontay Johnson. Here comes Harris late, but it's too late. It's a one-score game. It's now 27-34. Next drive for the Steelers. Trying to ice this game, Baker Mayfield wants it all on the 3rd and 5. He finds Deontay Johnson for 39 yards. They had a field goal. Browns had a field goal in response. They win it 37-30. Now to San Francisco. We'll start with Dak Prescott in the second quarter, and Ambry Thomas takes it, and he's going to pick it off and take it 88 yards as he outraces everybody. And in the second quarter, the Niners strike first. They lead 7-0. The Niners get it back on their next drive. And Bradley Tracy, the X-Factor second-year quarterback, throws an interception himself at the 35. And taking it back for a touchdown is Kelvin Joseph. So back-to-back pick sixes at 7-7. Next drive for the Cowboys. Halfway second quarter, Dak Prescott chucks up a prayer, and Michael Gallup answers it. 42 yards. It's now 10-7. Cowboys in front. Down to the 2-minute drill for the Cowboys. They get the ball back. Dak Prescott with Bosa in the zone gets sacked, and Nick Bosa forces it out. It's picked up by Eric Armstead. Niners tied at the half, 10-10. We take a third quarter, and I believe the first play of the third quarter. A pump by Dak Prescott. He loves the deep ball, and he finds Amari Baskerville for 38 yards. Another field goal. They lead by 3. Next drive for the Niners, and it's a keeper by Bradley Tracy. And Tracy takes it for 12, and another first. This game is tied at 13. Later in the third quarter, Niners have the ball. Final 3 minutes, Bradley Tracy. And throws an interception for Alohi Gilman. Cowboys had a field goal. It's now 16-13. We take it to the fourth. On the 3rd and 4, Bradley Tracy finds Elijah Mitchell. And Mitchell takes it across midfield and out of bounds with 12. This game's tied at 16. Still no offensive touchdowns. Next drive for the Cowboys. Dak Prescott finds Leonard Beachum. Beachum turns on the Jets, and there he goes. It's going to be a 60-yard touchdown, and the Cowboys in front 23-16. Cowboys get the ball back here later in the fourth quarter, and Dak Prescott is going to throw, and it's intercepted by Tavierre Thomas, and Thomas is going to take it 46 yards to tie the game at 23. And next drive for the Cowboys, here for the 5-minute mark. Dak Prescott is going to step back and find Leonard Beachum again. This one for 17. And the Cowboys lead by 3. We take it to the end of the fourth quarter. Niners try to tie it. It's going to be a 63-yarder for the tie. And it is no good. And the Cowboys hold on to win it 26-23. Now to Buffalo. The Bengals start with the ball. On a 3rd and 5, Joe Burrow chucks up a prayer to Higgins over the head of White. 38 yards. Bengals now in front by 3. Later in the first quarter, Bengals back with the ball, and Joe Burrow finds Seth Williams over the middle. A pickup of 19. Another field goal. They lead by 6. We take it to the second quarter. The first play of the second quarter. Josh Allen with a pump. And he's going to take the deep shot for Stephon Diggs, who is wide open. 55 yards. Bills in front by 1. 7-6. Next drive for Buffalo. Allen finds Diggs again, and look at Diggs go. Turn on the Jets, old age and all. Led the NFL in receiving yards, and another big touchdown. This one, 83 yards. Bills in front by 8, 14-6. Next drive for the Bills on the goal line this time. This is a short touchdown. It's Derek Silvers. 8-yard score. It's now 21-6. Next drive for the Bengals. Play action. Burrow trying to get back on the scoreboard. Takes the deep shot to Chase, who makes the incredible catch. 42 yards. They had another field goal, 21-9. Next drive for the Bills. Josh Allen finds Stephon Diggs, who's wide open again. Make it 3 in the first half. This one for 51. 28-9. 3 touchdowns, all over 50 yards. Next drive for the Bills. Allen finds Diggs again. This one for 16 yards. 31-9. We're still in the second quarter, by the way. Next drive for the Bengals. Joe Burrow gets hit. The ball is picked out of the air by Rousseau. It's an interception. Rousseau takes it the distance, a 31-yard pick six. It's a 38-point second quarter for the Bills. They lead 38-9 at the half. Take it all the way to the fourth quarter. Joe Burrow finds Will Derby, who pinballs off a village of Bills and takes it for a 34-yard touchdown. It's now 38-19. They added a field goal in the midst of that, by the way. Take it to the end of the fourth quarter. Joe Burrow finds in traffic T. Higgins for the touchdown. Bills win it 38-26. Now to Atlanta. We'll start with the Panthers. I'm sorry, this is Carolina. This game's played. And a deep shot for Jared Painter over the shoulder. 34 yards. Panthers strike first. 7-0. Next drive for the Falcons. And Herbert on the screen to Pollard. Gets the blocks. Tony Pollard with a spin and a touchdown. 13 yards. This game's tied at 7. And it'll stay that way till the second quarter. We're going to give to Tyler Algier. So both running backs now have a touchdown. Pollard a receiving one. Algier a 2-yard rushing score. Panthers in front by 7. Next drive for the Panthers. And they give to Christian McCaffrey. Finds a big hole into Falcons territory. 14 yards. It's a 4-point game. 10-14. 2-minute drill for the Falcons as they take over. Justin Herbert finds a wide open Kyle Pitts. Turns on the Jets for 22. 17-10 at the half. We take it later in the third quarter. And Matt Corral finds Braxton Berrios for a 7-yard game-tying touchdown. We're tied up at 17. Next drive for the Falcons, and Herbert throws a pick. And it's going to be a 55-yard pick six as Dante Jackson outraces Herbert to the pylon. Panthers now in front 24-17, and they'll stay that way to the fourth quarter. Next drive for the Falcons. And a give on 4th and goal to Gabe Neighbors, a 1-yard score. This game's tied up at 24. Later in the fourth quarter, Herbert finds Kyle Pitts. Turns on the Jets, and there's a 27-yard touchdown. Falcons in front by 7, 31-24. Panthers on the goal line. 4th down for the season. Corral knocked in the air and finally intercepted. This is kicked to A.J. Terrell. The Falcons win it 31-24. Now to Tennessee. We'll start with Miami with the ball in the first quarter. And a give to Kareem Hunt. 1-yard score. Dolphins now in front by 7. Later in the first quarter, Dolphins have the ball back. And another give to Kareem Hunt. And he's in. 3-yard score, 14-0. Next drive for the Titans in the second quarter. And Jameis Winston throws. And he's going to find KJ Osborne over the top. 22-yard score. It's down 14-7. Next drive for the Titans. Later in the second quarter, Jameis Winston is pressured. And he throws a pick to Jalen Phillips, the edge rusher. And he takes it 66 yards for the touchdown. And the Dolphins lead by 14 again. 21-7. Next drive for the Dolphins in the 2-minute drill. And this is Pete Stover, the quarterback for the Dolphins, by the way. Tua is now in Cincinnati, the backup. Mike Gesicki for 14, 24-7 at the half. We take it late in the third quarter. And Winston finds KJ Osborne, who turns on the Jets. And look at Osborne go, gets tripped up the last second, 27 yards, 24-10. It'll stay that way to the fourth quarter. One last hope for Tennessee on a 4th and goal. Henry is stacked up by Tim Settle, a tackle for loss, and the Dolphins win it 24-10. Now to Minnesota. We'll start with a give to Kenneth Walker and takes it the distance. 17-yard score, and the Seahawks strike first. Remember, the Vikings are 8-9 hosting a playoff game. The Seahawks won 11 games. How about Justin Jefferson? Teddy Bridgewater, the quarterback of the Vikings, 19 yards, 7-3 lead for the Seahawks. Next drive in the second quarter. Bridgewater finds Jefferson, who turns on the Jets, stays on his feet, and takes it 46 yards on the touchdown. Vikings in front, 10-7. Taking to the 2-minute drill for the Vikings. Bridgewater floats it up top for Jefferson, makes the sliding grab, 26 yards. 17-10. Next drive for the Vikings. They get it back. And Bridgewater finds Jefferson for 10. Put him in field goal range. 20-7 lead at half. Take a third quarter opening drive for the Vikings. Teddy Bridgewater finds Jalen Naylor for a 1-yard score. It's 26-7. I'll say that way to the fourth quarter. And Burns finds Lockett, who turns on the Jets, and Lockett for 15. Seahawks had a field goal. It's 26-10. Next drive. We're now in the fourth quarter. And Bridgewater on the 3rd and goal finds Juwan Jennings, the former Niner, 5-yard scores on 33-10. Next drive. Bridgewater finds Jalen Naylor for a second touchdown. They put up a 40 spot. It's 40-10. Next drive for the Seahawks, trying to answer, get on the board. Burns trying to keep the season alive, loses the ball. It's picked up by Hunters on his stomach. Gets up, turns on the Jets, and takes it 45 yards. And the Vikings win it 47-10. And that will do it for the wild card game. So all the schedule is set for the divisional round. And in the AFC, the 1-seed Chiefs play the 5-seed Dolphins. And the 2-seed Steelers play the 3-seed Bills. In the NFC, the 4-seed Vikings stay alive to face the 6-seed Falcons. By the way, remember what we said last episode? 3 teams in the NFC were under 500. They were 8-9. All 3 of them won. The Cowboys, Falcons, and Vikings. By the way, the Cowboys, they play us. We play the 7-seed. Cowboys is the 1-seed Giants. So no matter how you slice it, there's going to be at least one 8-9 team in the NFC Conference Championship and perhaps one in the Super Bowl if the Giants don't advance. Well, that will do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed the recap. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you next time when we play a playoff game against the Dallas Cowboys.